The XFL is still alive, and just like every other new league, fans want to see what the TV viewerships are like and how many people are coming to the stadium to see if this league is gonna last. We got some big names though. This league has been fun so far. We got some big names such as PJ Walker. PJ Walker is a quarterback for the Houston Roughnecks. He's been a beast. He's been somebody fun to watch. And that's really the reason why Houston is 4-0 is because of PJ Walker. I mean, this guy is actually crazy, and I think he's going to be a great player in the NFL. I think that he does bring attraction to the XFL, and that's something good for the XFL. But what will the XFL be doing later on to move forward if he does go to the NFL instead? We'll find out then. But we also got some names like Jordan Tamu. Jordan Tamu is another quarterback, this one for St. Louis Battlehawks. Jordan Tamu has been insane. I'd say that PJ Walker is good. Would if the season would end right now, PJ Walker would be the one to win MVP. But Jordan Tamu is right behind him, leading the St. Louis Battlehawks to first in their division and a 3-1 record. And he's just been insane. He's been super dominant. You cannot stop this guy. He's good on his feet. He's good passing the ball. He One thing with PJ Walker that I like better than Jordan Tamu is PJ Walker is better at throwing it on the run, but Jordan Tamu can do that too. Everything in general though, these guys both are really good. And for our final and third player that I want to just bring up, this is a difficult one to bring up. I decided it's a good person to talk about before we get into the viewerships and the how many people went to the stadium. But we're gonna go with Cam Phillips. Cam Phillips is a player that he's been really good, but this fourth week did he got shut down. He played against a really good cornerback and he got shut down the whole game. He had about one catch throughout the whole entire game. But the first 3 weeks, he had 7 touchdowns in the first 3 weeks, was leading the league in that by a lot. And he also was good with yards. I don't know if he led the league in yards, but he was on the top, somewhere in the top of that. Also, he is a great player to have on your team. With that being said, let's get into the XFL TV ratings and attendance week 4. Those players do make the league more exciting. I do think that the league has to do a few more things though, which is one of them. I think they got to be promoting better. Into our attendance, here are week 1 numbers. We are going to go through week 1, 2, 3, 4 and base all them off. Our week 1 numbers, we got a grand total of 69,818 fans, which is really good for week 1. A fun fact, the XFL did sell more tickets before their season started than the AAF did all of their season. The AAF was a different startup league for those of you guys that don't know. But we got the St. Louis Battlehawks against the Dallas Renegades pulling in 17,206 viewers. The Tampa Bay Vipers versus New York Guardians pulling in 17,634. The Houston Roughnecks versus Los Angeles Wildcats pulling in 17,815, the most of week 1. And Seattle Dragons versus DC Defenders pulling in 17,163. I think that the tickets for opening week were more expensive than they are now, so that could be one reason why the attendance did go up. But if you can see on the screen right now, most of these, like really all these stadiums are pretty much the same. There's just a few hundred away from each other. They're all in the 17,000 range, and that's really good for week 1. Here we got the week 2 attendance, grand total of 76,285. Obviously, this is a jump up from week 1. The Guardians went to 15,031. That's a drop down based off the week before that. But that this time they were playing in DC, and last time they were playing in New York. So obviously the stadium does matter when the attendance goes up, and when the TV viewerships go up does matter based off who's playing that game. But Tampa Bay Vipers versus Seattle Dragons, 29,172. That is the most of the XFL at this point of week 2 by a lot. Seattle is a great place for these seats so far, and we also got St. Louis as a great place for these seats so far. Dallas Renegades versus Los Angeles Wildcats pulling in almost 15,000 seats, also a drop down, and then St. Louis Battlehawks versus Houston Renegades pulling in 17,103, which is pretty much about the same. I don't know exactly their numbers. We just said it before. I don't know exactly their numbers, but it's pretty much the same as what it was in the first week. It's within the few hundred range. I also don't know if Houston was at home in the first week. This week they were. Obviously, again, that does pull in and that does matter. Really, the Tampa Bay Vipers versus Seattle Dragons game did save the XFL's average attendance with the 29,000, because the other 3 games did drop down, not by much, but the Seattle Dragons versus Tampa Bay Vipers game went up by a lot. Here we got our week 3 totals at 81,942. This is a tremendous jump. There was one game in this that was not good. That's just because of the stadium where it was at. The team was not doing well. And we got the Houston Roughnecks versus Tampa Bay Vipers pulling in 18,117, which is a jump up from the first week. I'm not sure if that was a jump up for the second week for these teams. I'm guessing it was. Then we got the Dallas Renegades versus Seattle Dragons pulling in 22,060. This isn't a jump up, but 22,000 for each game first season. That's really good. New York Guardians versus St. Louis Battlehawks. This is so far the most ever pulled in XFL history. 29,554 people. And then the DC Defenders playing against the Los Angeles Wildcats pulling in 12,211. This is really where they got hurt again by attendance, but at the end of the day, they're fine with attendance. I think that they're going to step it up if they just do promoting better. We are going to go into our week 4 XFL attendance, which is this past week. They dropped down by 11,000 fans, going down to 70,224 fans going to the stadium, which is still really, really good. We got the Los Angeles Wildcats versus New York Guardians pulling in only 12,000 people, but that game again is against two teams that were under 500. Seattle Dragons versus St. Louis Battlehawks pulling 27,527. Seattle and St. Louis are great teams to when they play in their stadium. They will pull in numbers. So the best thing for the XFL is the time when Seattle is at home against the team and then St. Louis is at home against the team. That will pull in the most attendance probably ever. I don't know if they did that yet or not. But if they did it, that was probably the week where they had the most attendance. And then we got the Houston Roughnecks versus the Dallas Renegades pulling in 18,000. The Texas Showdown was a crazy game. Let me know what team you guys are going for. Then we got the DC Defenders versus the Tampa Bay Vipers pulling in only 12,249. So again, it was that Seattle Dragons versus St. Louis Battlehawks pulling in the 27,000 that really made them at least be able to be at 70,000, which is still really good. Just the 12,000 ones really hurt them, especially since the week before. Let's get into our TV viewers. Sorry about that. XFL viewership in week 4. We got 4 games across ABC, Fox, ESPN, and FS1 was down 14% from week 3. We got the week 1 on the board right here. 3.12 million viewers throughout week 1 for XFL. That is really good for the startup. I'm kind of curious. Let me know what you guys think, because my prediction is that there's going to be over 10 million viewers by their championship game, assuming it does last that long. I think it will. I think that they're going to be going on for seasons to come, and the NFL might go on strike. If that happens, that will be perfect for the XFL. They have perfect time to just build up their league super quickly. So week 1 did pull in 3.12 million. Again, my prediction is that the championship game will pull in about 10 million or over 10 million. Week 2, we got 2.05 million. So that is a tremendous drop. Dropped down by over a million right there. But still good numbers. Still good numbers. Now is more of the time, week 3, week 4, of when you're saying, how much is this going to drop? Is it going to drop tremendously again? But week 3 dropped down to 1.61 million, so still not bad. They can deal with that. And then week 4 dropped down to 1.38 million, which, it's kind of starting to get low at this point, week 3 and week 4. But it's not a tremendous jump down, which is why I think that if the XFL does the right promoting, the XFL can turn this around and get their viewers right up real quick, their attendance right up real quick, and it will all be crazy. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button. Peace out.